today I'm attacking the utility room. I did all the prep work already, so there was some sort of a decorative thingy hanging down, like wooden. It made it very rustic looking. It looks like this. So that's off. We took the doors off already as well. So what I gotta do now is I have to sand the little bits that got damaged here when we took off that part there. Fill in the holes with wood filler where the screws were, and then start priming the cabinets. But before I do that, I need the hot air gun and remove the child protection here. And also here I have some wall stickers. They're not so nice anymore. I tried to peel them off ever so gently yesterday, but a bit of plaster came off, so that's not so good. So I hope that the hot air gun will help me peel that off. This is the before picture, how the utility room looks now. We've done some prep work already. I hope we can keep the existing top. That would save a lot of money. I'm all for kind of recycling, reusing, and this is still in a good nick. It's a bit dirty now, obviously, with the clean out, but it's still in a good nick. The only thing we need is a new sink. I think this was already second-hand when we bought the house. So this is after a good few years not in such a good condition there now. So I need a new sink there now and new taps because I couldn't clean this properly. It was leaking the whole time, and and the plan is here to have my juice bar here as well with our juicer, and when I come in from the garden with all the vegetables and everything, they can be prepped in here. We'll see. I have no plan yet other than to make it a little bit more pretty. Now for the primer. This time I went to B&Q and got the B&Q primer and undercoat for wood. That's interior and exterior. So I'll be applying that now to everything before I can put on the top coat. So I start with the cabinets. I want to paint here that little strip on the inside here. Yeah, this will be having the nice coat then there as well. The inside will be still white. For a paint, I chose here as well from B&Q, the Good Home range, Toulon, I think. It's an eggshell color, so that's very matte and kind of, it's like a blue grayish color. So let's see how that turns out. My tip for anything, if you need to open any cans or kind of get the excess from your brush, it's the really useful tool. I bought it in Amazon, but you can get it in Ireland. The Carlo Paint Hub sells them as well. I don't know if any other suppliers sell them. It's Axus Decor and it's called RUT, the really useful tool. It is really useful. So the first coat of primer is on, and now I'm painting the doors outside. Okay, the primer is applied now to all the upper cabinets and the shelf here on top. And I put 2, in some places 3 thin layers of coat of the primer on. Yeah, this one is drying through before I put the paint on actually. And for here, that'll be a little bit tricky because this press needs to come out, because at the moment our fridge freezer is standing in there, so we have to take all this out. And on the bottom, you can't see it there now, I have to basically trim down the board on the bottom and put it down, and that'll be a bigger job, but we're not doing that today. Tomorrow is Father's Day, so I'd like to have at least the top cabinets finished. So once the primer is dried through, I apply the coat. Don't know if I showed you that already. I got the paint in B&Q this time. I love to try out different shades and different things. This is why I buy from different suppliers. And this is Eggshell, and it's called Toulon or Toulon, I don't know. I prefer the French variation. And let's see how it comes out. I'm not so happy. It seems like when I apply the paint, the primer comes off. If you have a look here, I have the same problem here. The white is coming through from the primer, and if I try to cover it up with paint, it gets worse. I have to compare it to the previous primer I used, and it's not standing up to it, I have to say. I'm a bit disappointed. I was hoping to finish that today, the top thing is, but it looks like it has to dry through overnight, and I have to apply a second coat then tomorrow. You know, I could just cry. I tried to do a touch-up here on the board here up there, and all the paint came up. I'm so disappointed. Yeah, it's best to pay a little bit more for paint to avoid that kind of frustration. Look at it. The paint totally comes off, and I'm left with the primer. I'll give it another try tomorrow. I let it thoroughly dry through now. I mean, it was dry, but it seems like as soon as the paint comes in contact with the primer, it just doesn't stick. It lifts off. It's the proper primer for interior wood. I have interior wood paint. I don't know. Another day, and the second paint coat is coming on. Voila, finished. Now today I'm working on the lower cabinets. I have 2 coats already on there that needs to dry now and thoroughly, and then I have to do the little gaps here in the middle, and if the paint does not dry through properly, then I get all the smudges there I had earlier where basically the primer is coming through. As you can see, that's the inside of my presses. I don't paint the whole cabinet on the inside, but I'm painting the frames here around in the same color, so that when the doors are back on again, so that on the side the laminate is not looking out there anymore. So that's what I've done there now, and here as well in the drawers. Now this will be coming off here, and that's what we did today. I also had a lot of primer left in the bucket, so I started priming already my next project. I want to paint the doors here in the hall. It's a very dark hall. I want to paint them doors as well, and I'm gonna make a start there soon. So at the moment it looks a bit shabby than chic, but we get there. Hello everybody, it's another weekend and the utility room is almost finished. I won't show you the full reveal just yet, just a little bit here. The cabinets are finished. I put a curtain pole up here actually, so when I have t-shirts or something that I need to be hanging up and the weather is not so great outside, which is most of the time the case in Ireland, I can hang it up here to Today, this weekend, I am painting. Here we removed, if you remember, here from the fridge was encased in a press, so we removed that. And first we thought we get away with it, but it keeps bugging me because we can see here this side of that tiny little press, and I have not painted that, and it's barely visible if you just stand a little bit back, but I know it's there, I know it's not painted, so that's what I'm gonna do now. I don't want to paint on the newly painted wall, so I bought a little bit of frog tape, which I will be putting now on the wall as good as I can. But because everything is set up there now, it's not so easy. Done an extra bonus point for not falling off the ladder. If you remember, I like trying out different paints. The blue pigment are all on the top. I have to steer that right. I will put the camera down now in a second, and it'll turn into this bluish gray. It doesn't come across really on the camera, but it is a lovely color for a nursery. It's like a powdery blue, if that makes sense. So it's really nice. It's okay. I like the coverage. It's great. Okay, that looks a little bit better now after a very good and thorough 10-minute stir. So I will put that now on the side so it can dry through, and that's that one little job finished. And I want to buy 1 or 2 more picture frames, and then I'll show you the final end result of my utility room / laundry room makeover. Stay tuned. I didn't use primer this time. It's barely visible. It's merely cosmetic and merely for my own peace of mind, because I know it's not painted, and it bugs me because that was attached to the other cupboard, so they were kind of joined together. There were little holes in there, and I obviously filled them with wood filler and sanded that down. And this is the after. I realized I never filmed the after, so it's as well a good way to see how is it holding up. This June it will be actually 3 years since I have done this revamp, so in a sense lockdown was good to us. So I got a lot done while working from home, which was for us personally here in the house a bonus. So you can see here, if you remember, this was all a built-in. We took the built-in out. I put some shelves in there and some boxes on top with decorations, candles in it. Then there is a freestanding fridge freezer there now with a water dispenser. You can see I painted also the skirting boards. They're like in a light grey. We decided then to go for a new countertop. Got that in B&Q, cut it ourselves, got rid of the sink. I don't really need that sink. So I have space now for folding the laundry, and also this is our coffee, water distiller and juice bar. The walls got a new paint. These are the hanging cupboards, shelves on top with all my seeds and garden stuff. I fixed a rail here, so when I'm doing the laundry I can actually hang up shirts and t-shirts up here. It's perfect for drying in winter time. Doesn't he look so cute? Look at all the cute doorknobs. I got them all in Etsy and Dunn stores. I deliberately went for different doorknobs. No one is the same, because it's a utility room and I wanted to have a little bit of fun with it. little bit of paint, time, new countertop, few new knobs, and with very little money you can update your home on a budget. Thank you for watching.